Yo, what's up YouTube? Pryde Man is here coming at you guys with kind of a different video, but it's kind of the type of videos I want to move towards. Anyways, we're going to be doing a top 5 tips for how to rank up fast in Valorant Ranked. Okay, so the first tip is going to be to close out games with large win deficits. Okay, so this tip is really important because close games play a small role in increasing your MMR. MMR, or matchmaking rating, is the value that determines the skill level of each player. In Valorant, this value is actually hidden, but in games like Fortnite, this can be shown sometimes, such as your arena points. So basically what I'm saying in this tip is, so rather than like throwing like big leads to like mess around with your buddies, if you're just completely destroying a team, you kind of want to close out the game quickly, even if you're a lot better than them, just because if you make the game close, even though you're much better, you're not going to rank up as easily. And I actually made this mistake one game, and we threw the game. We went from like I think it was like 10-2 to like the final score was like 13-10, and this team was very bad. But this was before I realized like this mattered. Like I didn't realize close games had a smaller impact on your MMR. But now that I know, I'm definitely going to be winning games with as big of a deficit as I can. The reason that I think Riot does this is because if you're having like a really close game, then you're probably in, you know, the correct MMR or the correct rank. But if you're not in the right rank, obviously you're just gonna be plowing over kids, 13-0 in them if you do. So obviously you kind of want to like prove yourself or whatever, and just make sure you get as big of a lead as you can to close out the game. All right, tip number 2 is a really big one in my opinion. Personally, I try to always do this. This, like, I didn't really do the tips in an order, but this one would definitely be one of the most important ones, but it's also kind of hard. This is going to be always play with a 5 party, like a party of 5 or a 5 stack, whatever you want to call it. Just try to play with a full team. If you can't get 5, you get 4, just get as many as you can, because you really don't want to play it alone. You're at a big disadvantage if you're solo queuing this. So basically, playing with a 5 stack can be a big advantage for communication and just team synergy that the other team probably won't have unless they are also a 5 stack. Do your best to play with people at the same skill level, or if not the same, then at least better than you, or as close as you can. You just really don't want to have someone who needs to be carried. Obviously, you don't want someone who you're gonna have to carry, because that's just a waste of time. You might as well let that be a fill spot. You don't want someone that's gonna hold you back. Also, before you go ahead and keyboard warriors, before you go start making comments, I know it can be hard to find people to play with, especially considering this is a closed beta. Not all your friends are gonna have the game, but I mean, the best recommendation I would give you, and what I have personally done, is go into Valorant Discords, go onto Twitter, meet some people, go into smaller streamers, find people who are looking for people as well, and just try to make new friends who have the game. If you want, guys, go ahead and drop a comment of your Riot ID and your tagline or whatever. Some of you can try meeting new friends, see if you guys want to like leave your rank or whatever down below. Maybe you guys can add each other. Just go ahead and like reply to each other if you want to play. Maybe this will help some of you guys get a 5 stack, and hopefully you can rank up. While you're down there, if you don't mind, leave a like on the video. Maybe drop a kind comment if you already have a 5 stack. But also subscribe if you're not already subbed, because let's see how many it is. 90.7% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. That's 90%. That's 9 out of 10 people aren't subscribed who watch my videos. So if you guys could subscribe, that would help me a lot. I really plan on doing a lot of videos like this, so hopefully it'll help you guys out. On to the next tip. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention, which is also why 5 stacking is such a big deal. 5 stacking is not going to affect who you're partying against, because 5 stacks can match against all solo queues. Unfortunately, I really wish it wasn't this way. But yeah, that's just how it is. If you're a 5 stack, you're not forced to go against other 5 stacks, so you're not going to be going against harder people. You'll still go against duo queues, which is really dumb in my opinion. But what can you do? It's a closed beta. Hopefully they'll change it over time. Number 3 is one a lot of you guys probably don't take too serious, and it's warming up before you go into a ranked match. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. You can go into the in-game aim trainer. You can practice your sprays there. You can shoot against bots. You can even practice against AI to do sight retakes. Also, if you want, you can play an unranked game. You can play like a casual game if you want. I do that a lot of times, get on, warm up just my game sense and stuff. Also, you might want to get an outside of game aim trainer such as Kovacs or what I use, AimLab. AimLab is actually free if you guys want to go get it. They also support Valorant settings to where you don't have to like convert sensitivities or worry about field of view differences. It feels very much like Valorant, and it's a great aim trainer to practice with. You should really check it out. Warming up can be like extremely important, and it can completely change how your day goes while you're playing. Warming up and practicing is an art and a skill you have to kind of learn over time. You'll learn what you want to do as you go, how you want to do it, because obviously in the end game aim practice there's different settings you can change, and also especially in AimLab there's probably like hundreds of skills practices you can do. So you just gotta kind of learn what it is you need to do and how much time you want to spend on it. If you guys would like a video on this alone, I would totally love to do it. I'll probably do it either way, but just like a video solely on like warming up and practicing outside of like in-game stuff, I could probably make like a whole like a 30-minute routine or an hour-long routine you guys could do just to hop on and get ready, and because this is really gonna help you a lot and become consistent as you play over time. Okay, tip number 4. Okay, tip number 4 is a pretty unique one that I haven't seen the tips and tricks videos that I've been watching mention. Play a character that gets you a lot of combat score. Okay, so something a lot of people don't realize, ranking is not only about wins, it's also combat score and eco rating as well. This is something that's pretty important going into your ranking. I think they're also going to be tinkering with how ranking up works and how MMR works, but right now eco score and your combat score is very important right now, so you definitely want to try and play characters who are going to help you with this. Now, obviously you can get a high score with any character. Any character can drop a bunch of kills, especially if it's compared to your teammates, but with some it may be easier than others. Obviously it's going to be easier with Phoenix than it would be with Sage, etc, etc. Like I said, maybe you can play a really good support with Sage, but you can drop high kill games with Phoenix and get a bunch of kills. You should do this. You should definitely use a character that you can get a bunch of kills with. You should try to insta lock them if you can. Now obviously you don't want to like lose your entire game playing a character you don't know, trying to be the entry frag when you're most definitely a support player, but you should definitely try and do it. Not only kills help, but also just using your abilities. Try and use your abilities as much as possible. Get comfortable with your kit in general. Okay, tip number 5 is a pretty big one that you guys probably don't really think about, and it's just being patient. Being patient when you're trying to rank up. This is something that is very difficult, but also very important. If you become impatient in games and also in the moments, it can ruin your performance and also just your mindset overall of the day and the game that you're in. Often ruin literally everything important for ranking up for you. You could ruin it all just off of that, because if you end up full tilting over a stupid death or a lag or something, you can end up arguing and completely ruining the game and losing because you're whining at your teammate over something stupid. You should also realize that becoming impatient right now is kind of silly if you look at it in hindsight, because it is a closed beta after all. The full game isn't even announced. We don't even know the date. We're still in a game that's being tweaked as we go. And I realize that the beta will be over soon, and you're trying to rush and hurry up and get where you want to be, but you should be more focused on like the long run and where you can be when the full game comes out. Just kind of practice and worry about that before focusing on a closed beta. You've got plenty of time to get where you want to be. It's gonna be okay. And just use this time to prepare for the full game and enjoy the early competitive experience that you have at your disposal, and just get some good practice and take advantage of it. Okay, I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to comment any criticism or comments that you have, like any questions, let me know. I look at all my comments, and also if you want to hit me up on Twitter, I'm extremely active on Twitter. That's definitely my biggest social media that I use. Also, be sure to subscribe and support the channel for more content like this. This is definitely kind of where I'm trying to move towards, more educational content, especially since I'm like really competitive, and I've been playing this game a lot. But thank you guys for all the support lately. I'm gonna end off the video here. I hope you guys made it this far in. Thank you so much. Alright, holy shit, that was scuffed.
Go with that shit too. So I would I'm start to rotate back behind now.
They can still go in. Might be A.
Yeah, they're rotating, they're
They
rotating.
should still stay in.
I still got nothing yet.
Because he's dead C. Oh my god, that was almost done.
Stay here, kill them. Walking B. No, no, come to me, come to me. I'm gonna kill you.
30 seconds
I'll
left.
swing the corner.
How the
Spike planted.
Slowed. We just know one more. Say, one's mid say, one's under hood.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
We have to find where Pryde is and not go there.